Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's JudiciousFire, and I am here with Narcia War Era, and this is a how-to guide. I have to admit, when I first opened Narcia War Era, I was a little bit overwhelmed with all of it. Took a couple days to soak in. Took a lot of conversations with other players, as well as some coherent team strategy. But we got the general gist of it, and this is how Narcia War Era goes. Hop into your guild hub. Guild events. Got all these guild events. Narcia War Era. Hop in there. Okay, we are the guild KOA. For the sake of this video, let's pretend this is all our home base. Every guild, these are the biggies. Every guild is given a home base. That home base cannot be attacked. It cannot be taken over. It will always be yours. You will always have at least that one big square. If you take anything from this video, let it be the following. This is probably the most important aspect to Narcia War Era outside of attacking. This is defense oriented. You go to your base, click on your base. You're going to see on the right hand side there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue circles. The one at the bottom, the work hammer, this is the one I want to draw your attention to. Okay, work hammer allows you to upgrade your base. It's just as important as it is in our base in the normal part of Castle Clash. The higher level your base, the more resources it produces, the more things it can hold, the better base it is, the stronger. So you want to donate ore. You are given ore every hour. So every couple of hours, if you're a guild leader or a guild vice leader, or if you're coordinating this, you want to tell all your guildies to donate ore. Once you have captured more than one building, you will need to continually donate ore to those buildings in order to get them all up to currently max level 5. You see that our home base is max level 5. I cannot donate anything because it's maxed. I go to the little 3 tabs at the left, and we currently control 4 cities on this map. Max level 5, you see we have a level 4, 3, and a 3. I can donate to those, and so you would want to instruct all your guild members to do so, to go, and now you see it lights up blue, the donate, allowing me, we're nearly level 5. So I have 11,950 ore. I'm going to donate it. You need 12 million to max out. And I just do this as part of routine gameplay. Just like I would donate shards, just like I would upgrade sentinels, donating ore and getting your buildings up to max level 5. Please take that from this video beyond anything else. That's probably number 1. Okay, I'll get back to home base here. Okay, number 2. We have a resource system. You see that in the top left-hand corner. You see a thing of corn, an ear of corn. We see a droplet of water. We see a stone. And then we see a green square. Okay, the ear of corn is used to heal your team when you go out and you attack, or if you're occupying a square and you get attacked, you'll lose health or stamina. Once you get back to home base, you can heal up your team, and it uses corn. You heal up your team by doing the following. Right hand side, you see 1, 2, and 3, and a pink health bar. I can click on any of my teams, click on the form team button, and it shows me my team number 1, my team number 2, my team number 3. Those are those 3 purple bars out there on the board. I can restore my strength. All my guys are at max level right now, but if they were half depleted with their health and stamina, I would hit restore all, and it would use up some corn to give them back their strength. And that's how you heal your team. You have to go back to your base to heal your team, or to your most nearest adjacent city that you control. You can't just heal up your team in the middle of a battle or in the middle of the field. So corn is to help our heroes get their health and stamina back. Okay, the water droplets. You see that we are sending out attackers right now. Some guild members are sending 2 parties of attack teams out. To do that requires the water. Water is used to get your heroes to move from one square to the next. So for example, all 3 teams are in home base right now. Let's just say I want to move 1 square ahead, just to this one right here, right in front of our home base. In order to do that, it's going to take, and it shows expected arrival time, about 20 seconds is going to take me to march there, and it's going to use 1,800 water. Now let me back out. Let me go really far now. I'll go all the way down here to another part of town that we control. I'll go to move, and look at that. It's going to take 22 minutes to get there, and it's going to take 120,000 water for me to make that journey, and 26 stamina. Just like in Labyrinth. You use up some stamina, and you use up a heck of a lot of water. So water is necessary to get you from point A to point B on this board. The further out it is, the more water you use. The stones, that was the ore that I showed you for upgrading your towns, cities in your home base. So very, very important resource as well. Lastly, those green squares. Those green squares will start at, it could be 40, 60, 80. The more land and towns that you occupy, the more cities you take over, the higher that number is. Those green squares represent the number of tiles that you can control. A tile is this square right here in front of us, and also the square right next to it. So empty land counts as a tile. It's very important for people who are coordinating this for guilds to understand that the empty land is basically useless. It is the things that are lit up and have animations going that are worth something. So try to own as little empty land as possible, and try to own as many things that have actual items on them as possible. Once you get to that, and our number's 210 max, once you get to 210, a guild leader or a guild vice leader is required to sell off any extra pieces of land that you don't want. And when you choose delete the land goes away like 10 minutes later. So it is important to have people monitoring that, because we're going to max out pretty soon, but it's okay. Guild leadership is playing right now, and we're coordinating attacks. But once it gets to 210, we'll start removing land. You don't want to max out. So we have 4 big resources in the game. Okay, and all 4 are important and are necessary for beating this game mode. What is beating this game mode? Beating this game mode is way... Here's a town. In the center of this whole world is a master tower. It's like the ultimate base. Very much like if you play Fortress Feud, it would be like the center base. Yeah, there are bases all around the board, But that center base is the biggest one and worth the most number of points. Your job in this game mode is to capture that center base and to hold on to it. There's zero chance that you have of doing that without coordinating an effort to move toward that giant center base to take it over. Reason I say that is this. Let's find an enemy. Okay. Right over here. This Italia one. I go to attack. Press them. Four buttons come up. I'll do the clashing swords. And look what it shows me. I can only attack tiles that are right next to the blue ones. It's another reason why you really have to watch the number of tiles you're using. So what we are trying to do is move toward that giant tower, take it over, and do so by creating as best as we can, a straight line. We're blue. A straight line that heads towards that, taking all the towns that we can in the meantime. Now, four towns on our way toward the big tower. Probably best now to take a look at the buttons themselves. Okay? We know that we have a home base. 4 buttons. First one saves it for you. Saves the coordinates on the map so it's easy for you to find later. When you press save, saves it. Right hand side, you see a flag and you see a star. The flag shows me my 3 teams with their full pink health. The star are coordinates that I've saved on the map. If I want to go to one of those coordinates, I just touch it and it takes me right there. It's an easy way to find stuff. If you don't like it, delete it. So maybe something that you're attacking and you want to remember, or your home base that you want to get back to easily. That's what that does. Right here, second one, the ability to then attack. That's like your move out and do something button. If you choose a place that's already yours, when you move there, you'll just sit there and you'll guard it. That's very important. Guarding is extremely important. So it's not always taking over space. It's guarding what you have. If you want to attack somebody, and I can attack this player right next to the blue square, anything adjacent to one of my squares, and I can do that by pressing the second button, the attack button. Let's go back. Third button just shares coordinates. It's like if you want to tell your guildmates, hey, there's something really interesting over here. It's probably a button we're not going to use too often. Fourth button just gives you a little information. And fifth button is that important donate or button. And once you fill up on one town, you move to the next one and keep donating. Okay, so back to. Let's do an attack or two. I don't have much water. That's a problem. I'm pretty good with everything else, but not too much water. So let's formulate a team and let's go out for an attack. I want to press on my home base. Look at the right hand side. I have the star on. I'm not seeing my teams because I have to touch the flag. Now all of a sudden I see my 3 teams. And it shows me that all 3 teams are in my home base. If I press form team, I see my teams. It's kind of like Lost Battlefield. All of them are at max strength, so I don't have to restore any health. If they weren't, I'd use up some corn. Make sure I got pets on everybody. I made sure to put like revivers on each team and really get max life out of them. So, let's see here. When I press on this opponent, I see Garrison Might. Garrison Might level 5. It's going to be a very heavily guarded piece of land. And I don't have much water. I always want to take over stuff that's worth something. Okay, here's a piece of farmland. Garrison might level 2. And it would also open the opportunity to then be able to move over and take over this water. Let's press attack. Send out my first team. It's going to cost 9,000 water. Send out a second team. It's going to cost the rest of my water. So I'm out of water. Now what you're going to find is the following. If it's a minute and a half until it goes into battle. What you're going to find is the following. The teams that you create, the hero combinations, for whatever reason, I don't really think that plays a huge part. It's like if you've got the best max premier heroes, all max level, and you send that team of 6 out, they're going to lose. And they're going to get sent back home. It's really just kind of like we're trying to knock stamina off of the opponents that we're attacking. And it takes like 3, 4, 5 attack teams to take all their stamina down. It's not really the team that you're using so much as it is the stamina that you take away from those that you're attacking. You can see we're making really nice progress here. Look at this. We're taking up all of this stuff. My team's going to be attacking pretty soon. Probably first and second team are both going to go back. But you're going to see that their ability to hold that piece of land is going to be really compromised by my attack. They're going to really take a beating. And this is where you need to coordinate efforts. I'm doing this just for the sake of example. If it was a coordinated effort, I would have 2 guildies behind me. So what we have here is the result. We were successful in taking that piece of farmland. All 3 of my teams are back at home. In their battle, they were wounded, sent back home to go and hopefully be healed up with some of the corn. That leaves this piece of land unclaimed. We own it, but no one's guarding it. So the next team that rolls in there can pretty much take it over. Now, it's not necessarily a piece of land that I want to keep. This is one near final point. And then I'm going to start to wrap this video up. We'll call this the instructional basics of Narcia War Era. Look at all these little pieces of land that have stuff going on. See that this piece of land that I just took over, it's got 150 corn an hour it gives you. All right, go down one. 150 corn an hour. Go down one. This one's 200 an hour. 200 an hour ore. 150 an hour ore. Not everything is the same. And so it would be definitely within your best interest to target those resource mines, if you will, these resource vaults, the ones that produce the most an hour. If you total up all the resources that we control, you can see up in the left-hand corner above the corn, we're gaining 15,000 corn. I'm gaining 15,000 corn per hour, 18,000 water, 11,000 ore. So it is definitely in our interest to take this as good a resource supply as we possibly can. Go on the right-hand side. My team took a little bit of damage, so I can restore them now. Press restore all. You see that little last bit of health and stamina I get back. There's team 1. Restore all. Restore all. And nothing wrong with that guy. Okay, last part of this. Bottom left-hand corner. Got 3 items that we should draw your attention to. We got the scroll and feather. These are rewards that have time limits. I would check these often and make sure that you're getting your rewards if they do become available to you. So, like every time you're in here, I would check through some of these things and make sure you're claiming any rewards that you might be getting. Middle one. Middle one's a letter. Letter shows me that my attack and 2 attacks, occupied cities that were taken over. It's kind of like a message service of things that are happening in the game. And at the bottom is the gold cup. Gold cup shows that currently the big building, the one we're all trying to capture and hold on to, is held by this guild currently. We go to guilds. Right now we are in 16, and they update the rankings every couple of hours, so it's always fluctuating. But and in solo, I am 838. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm doing a coordinated effort alongside of my guildmates, and I'm sure those numbers will improve as time goes on. Often under the rankings button, there'll be a little notification that you've received a reward. These are from achievements in the Narcia game mode. Just like we have achievements in Castle Clash, like get 1,000 points in Lost Battlefield, get 600 gems. It's just like in Narcia, get your town to level 5 and you'll get rewards. And it's based on your rankings, your guild rankings, your own rankings. If you've noticed in your mailbox recently in the last couple of days, 1 or 2 chests appear, and you like strange gold chests, and you say to yourself, what the heck is this? You open it up and it's got like some igniting Zenith stones, Apex stones, maybe a couple of karmic rocks and stuff. That's all from achievements in Narcia. So I would always go in there and I would start to scan around and see if you can't find something that's good. I hope this put it a little bit into perspective. It's a game mode that I would just say, best advice, to learn it, you have to do it. And it's just like riding a bike. I can explain the riding of the bike, but once you sit on the seat and give it a go, you start to say, oh, this is kind of intuitive, and it starts to work itself out. It is a game mode that can be a lot of fun. It can also be a big time consumer, just like with Blitz Gauntlet. So don't let it eat up your day. Okay, do a couple of attacks a day and up your ore, get those levels up. Do coordinated efforts with your guild. Don't go out on solo missions. Always come with 2 or 3 others backing you up. All right, enjoy your clashing, everybody. Have a good one and enjoy your Narcia War Era. See ya. Bye-bye.